Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who is making good use of their boundaries, making sure that they don't welcome back or welcome in any toxic energy. I do feel like this is somebody who is blocking an ex or a friend, somebody that they feel they wanted to trust, they wanted to see if they had healed or resolved some of those issues. But I feel like this is no, I guess not, and blocking them, or maybe even for some of you, changing your phone number. Let's call in spirit with a little bit of Winchenta. Or that, excuse me. I'm sorry. Hello, dude. Hello, key controller. Hello, Steven. How y'all doing? If you would like a personal reading, my email address is in the description box below. wickedonestarot@gmail. How's it going, Michael? Hello, Hayden. Hello, John. I hope you're having a good day. We're going to start with the Pulp Tarot. And just a little fair warning, the winds are a little bit crazy here, so you may hear that in the background. There's also been some lawn mowing, some moving. Yeah, it's interesting today. What else do we have? 7 of Cups in the reverse, the Page of Pentacles, and the 9 of Swords. So I tried to trust that, things would be different. But when I gave you another opportunity, I still landed up in this anxiety. I still felt like there was a lot of toxic energy. So because of this not feeling comfortable around this person, we have kind of like a decision. Who do I want to have in my inner circle? And is this person somebody that I should have reconsidered? Because it seems like it's a no from spirit. 2 of Cups in the reverse. So that could be obviously a breakup in a romantic sense, but it could also be an emotional falling out between friends. 8 of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like this went no contact, and then you decided, okay, let's see if there's a way to move beyond this or still be able to, be friends, or maybe even have another go as far as like dating. But this was a waste of time is how someone's describing it. 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. Justice, Cherry in the reverse. It's like, I should have known better. I'd already learned that lesson. But, that's okay. Now I really know it. I'm going to make it final. I'm going to block this person, delete their number, change mine, whatever it is. This is somebody who's like, I've made my decision now. I can't change my mind in the future. Hello, Laura. That's funny. Hello, Upper Echelon. The World, the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the 4 of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, I tried. I really thought maybe we could salvage this friendship, or I thought, maybe you changed, but it just feels like a loss. And I probably should have rejected this. I wish that I had. But it's okay. You've learned something, and you really learned it this time. You know what I'm saying? And we have to appreciate that. Maybe it's not a waste if it really makes us confident in terms of what we were supposed to take away from that situation. This is the Tattoo Tarot. Oh, no. No. Let's not use that. I don't even want to think about that. We've got the 2 of Cups in the reverse, Temperance in the reverse, and Death. I don't know if it could be any clearer. I guess the 4 of Cups in the upright is legitimately rejection, but 2 of Cups in the reverse, same as before, would be emotional distance or breakup. Temperance in the reverse, this isn't a good fit. We're not on the same page, right? We're not compatible, whether it's friendship or if it's romantic. We want different things, or we approach this differently. So since neither of us seems to want to change, then it has to end. And I say neither of us wants to change because you approach things differently. It's not about right or wrong. Knight of Cups, Two of Swords, Four of Swords in the reverse. Interesting to have another 4 in the reverse, especially when you think about the fact that the first card was an 8. So 8 minus 4 equals 4. This Knight of Cups is different than many of the other Knight of Cups because the cup that is in front of his face is like just a blank space, right? It's a figment of their imagination. So there was something to this offer, this friendship or this, relationship where someone was like, oh, it'll be different this time. This will happen, or I won't do that, or I'll say this, or, I'm going to move there. There was something that was promised or expected and it never happened. So somebody else feels like, okay, well, then I guess this isn't going to work. We're maybe just not meant to be friends. 8 of Cups, 6 of Swords, 10 of Wands in the reverse. And it's like things become much easier, right? Because you're walking away from a toxic energy of some sort. Things become easier as you get distance from this person. There's sunshine over by the boat and it's looking a little stormy behind it, right? But the 10 of Wands in the reverse is somebody who's felt overwhelmed. I thought that this was going to be different. It wasn't. I didn't sign up to be stressed out or deal with all of this drama or wonder why these promises are broken. So I think I'll just move on. 3 of Cups in the reverse. Devil. Knight of Swords. This person may be just a little bit obsessed with you though. So when you say, I don't know if this is working out, I wanted to give it another try, but it feels like we're still on different pages. This may make somebody who has been a bit nonchalant feel more possessive or feel like they need to regain control in some way. So be cautious. I feel like with this Knight of Swords, there's 2 heads for the horse there, right? There's 2 different directions. This is somebody who is trying to navigate being pulled in both directions. I want to just accept it and let go, but also you're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to be mine. This is the Poe Tarot. Hello, Michael. What's up? Did I miss Peggy? Hello, Peggy. I'm so excited to hear that for you. Congrats. And hello to Corey. I missed Corey too. I hope you're having a good day. We've got the 9 of Quills or the 9 of Swords. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. So just so that you get the creep factor of the illustration, this is somebody who starts to become a bit obsessed. And it's looking like it's because of a crush or love. Even if you were friends with this person, they may not have told you they had a crush, or they may feel that the loss of a friend is compounded by the fact that they are also missing a romantic interest. This is somebody who seems to be obsessed with the connection with you, in part because they don't feel like they have anything else. We've got the 2 of Quills or 2 of Swords. I didn't even read this one. The 4 of Candles or the 4 of Wands. I loved her with a love more fervent than I had believed it possible to feel for any denizen of earth. There's a strong connection here, even as we have somebody that is toxic. And then this is, about whether or not you see clearly what's going on. Believe nothing you hear and only one half of what you see. Should I do this hairstyle next time, you guys? What do you think? This is Either somebody who has kind of played around with somebody's heart and pretended that there was a future and there really wasn't, or there's somebody who feels like the friendship got like this weird tension to it and they don't understand, and it's because somebody was trying to envision a way to make this friendship more romantic. There's an issue here in terms of somebody daydreaming or talking about something or wanting something, but feeling like it's not real. We've got the Fool. There is no passion in nature so demonically impatient as that of him who, shuddering upon the edge of a precipice, thus meditates a plunge. I kind of feel like this is somebody who's really struggling with the emotions they feel, kind of being stronger or more profound in the absence of this friend or love connection. The Hermit, not one of all the crowd to pry into thine hour of secrecy. Be silent in that solitude. This is somebody who feels alone, and they may have tried to like keep you involved in their life, but at a distance. And we've got the Five of Candles. We tremble with the violence of the conflict within us, of the definite with the indefinite, of the substance with the shadow. But if the contest have proceeded thus far, it is the shadow which has prevailed. We struggle in vain. This is an acknowledgement that maybe it's just too much. Maybe it's just too difficult to try to make this work. And I don't know that both people are on the same page again, right? As far as how they connect, but also whether or not this is really over. I think there's somebody who's a little bit more willing to accept that this isn't really a good friendship or it's not really a healthy relationship. There's things that need to be worked on, right? True. True, dude. Did I miss anyone? Michael, did I already say hi? I think I did. Hello, Grant. How are you doing? I can't remember if that was the last reading you were in, Michael. We're going to go with the Tarot of the Nile. Can you hear that wind? Goodness. Seven of Cups, Eight of Swords, the World, and the reverse. So there's kind of seeming to be a pretty good chance that this is a crush situation or somebody who didn't want to just be a friend. But there's also potential that we've got just like a general sense of dishonesty or secrecy in the context of a friendship or a relationship. And it made the other person feel like they didn't know what to expect next. I don't know if you're going to want to hang out. I don't know if you're going to ghost me for a month. You know, like this is somebody who felt like things were just too chaotic. Maybe there were too many arguments. Devil in the reverse and the Knight of Pentacles. So even though it took a little bit of time, we have somebody realizing that the toxicity in this connection is not worth the value, right, that they saw in this connection. So it's a matter of kind of like reassessing, what is it that I give to this and what is it that I take away from it? And it feels to me like a lot of it is, you know, I invite this person out or I call them up and see how they're doing. It's one-sided in a way. Hello, is it Angie? How are you doing? Nine of Cups in the reverse and the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Now that there's some sort of argument again after having patched things up, I feel like it's kind of looking like for most of you, this is somebody who was hoping to make things seem like they were okay so that they could potentially confess a crush if you are friends, or if you were dating, they were trying to figure out a way to potentially move in or become exclusive. But it's feeling like the other person involved here was like, but we weren't there. That wasn't like the next step. That wouldn't have felt like organic. We have the Sun and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So the problem is, I feel like you have discovered this toxic individual is codependent. And there's various forms that can take. It's a general reading, so take it how it resonates. But the realization here with this Sun card is, I don't know that I can continue to work on the things that I need to, or I don't know that we could patch up the things that have been broken in this connection. I don't know if there's a long-term possibility with this person because, again, different pages, right? Four of Swords in the reverse. And the Ace of Wands. So there's an interest for something different, a new chapter, moving on, while another person is the World in the reverse, not wanting things to end. So conflicting energy, right? I'm not ready, but they're walking away. Hello, Patricia. How are you doing? We need some oracle cards. This is the Golden Lenormand. Hello, Pam. Hello, Joel. How's your day? Oh, you lucky bastard. We've got the whip. Number 11. Uh-oh. Punishment. Somebody who decides to block. Yeah, this is exactly what it is. I don't trust you. I think you cause a lot of drama. I don't like drama in my house. Oops, house. So I'm going to protect myself from that drama or that toxicity. And this is like the block. I'm not going to let you have access. You don't have access to, I don't know, if you changed your phone number, your phone. You don't have access to social media. This is someone basically getting kicked out, right? Adios. I don't want to see you. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to date you, whatever it is. This is like, no, there's no more conversation to be had. This is the situations deck. I'm glad to hear it. I'm tired, Patricia, but I'm doing all right. I think I just need to go eat like a chocolate chip cookie. All the fudge is gone. Hello, Pharaoh. How are you doing? Oh, I didn't do the whip. You're right. Thank you. I'm sorry. I got distracted easily. There's a lot on my mind. I got a lot organized. Okay, so if you're new to my channel, whenever this card comes out, there's a joke I have to tell. Otherwise, as just demonstrated, there will be people that will be disappointed. So here it is. The whip. No, not the whip. The whip. No, please, not the whip. The whip. No, please, anything but the whip. Anything? The whip. Thank you. I would have been bummed if I'd realized that afterwards. Hello, Mr. Joe. Excellent timing. What do we have? Alien, dreams, telepathic, songs, and oh, it's so shocking to see this card. We definitely have some toxic energy or behaviors, right? This is what's justifying I'm blocking you or I'm walking away, changing my number. This is, I think, somebody who's quite upset. I don't know what particular argument set this person off, but I do feel like it's kind of got that final vibe, right? There are people who block and unblock, but this feels like somebody who is determined to accept that this is just not going anywhere. But like I said, I feel like we have somebody here who is about to confess, I have feelings or I want more. They are in denial about the status of the connection they have with the person that they feel strongly for. I thought I was being a good friend, or I thought I was, looking out for you. Maybe this is somebody who was in the friend zone, but was, manipulating a relationship that that friend had with somebody else. That's like they're blind to what was actually going on, or they've justified their actions, even though it doesn't really line up with the idea of being respectful towards this friend or partner. And we've got entrapment in the reverse. So heartstrings, money, pregnancy in the reverse. There's something here about not really understanding because maybe there's a lack of empathy or compassion. So this denial isn't necessarily like, I don't want to see it. I think this is more so like because we have some toxic patterns, they've like unlearned how to see it, or they don't look for that, right? Hello, daughter of Saturn. How you doing? You're welcome. What else do we have? All right, this is the Love Tarot. Still listening. I listen to the music you've shared with me. It helps me to connect with you, although we are apart. Will you listen? There's so many things I want to say to you, but will you hear me all the way out? Will you believe me? If it's not a crush, there's something that this person feels like they really need to explain. It could be about something they've hidden from you in terms of something they're not super proud of, or something that makes them feel anxious or unworthy. But I feel like you've already gotten to the point where you don't see this person as, friend worthy or relationship worthy. We have attention of others and the future. There could be an issue in terms of how this person divides their time, who they're talking to, or who they let influence them. I'm addicted to the attention of others. I love feeling wanted and needed. I don't feel whole without it. And the future. I daydream about our future together, going on adventures and growing old together. I want it all. So, whatever the complicated nature of your relationship is, this is somebody who speaks out of both sides of their mouth. I want the attention of everyone. I want to be, popular or sought after or seen as like this great catch. But also, I think about how things could be between the two of us, in like a few years, right? Because they're still busy getting attention from other people. This is the truth is. Just friends. You are better off as friends. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. And for many of you, you may not even want to be friends, right? This is a rejection. I'm not interested in getting to know you more. I don't feel like I can trust you as is, It's not a matter of knowing who they are as much as knowing that there's a lot that you disagree on or that you approach differently. This could be somebody who is very focused on themselves. We have the self-centered card, someone taking a picture of themselves, preoccupied with the interests of self. It's hard for me to think about how you might feel because all the time I'm thinking about how great I look in this jacket, or, who else might be thinking that I look great. There's definitely some ego issues, and it could be rooted in insecurity that presents itself as like an arrogant energy. But we also have abusive, emotional or physical abuse. No one deserves emotional or physical abuse. No one deserves abuse, okay? I hope you have a support team or some people that are able to offer some really good advice or help, whatever you may need. But I hope more than anything from this reading, you get that you deserve love and you don't deserve for people to treat you this way. If there's anyone in the live chat that wants to add a 1-800 number for help or in the regular comment section, I would really appreciate that. But this is, I feel, what you've already determined about this person. You have this toxic energy. I thought I could trust you. I cannot trust you. I think you already know that this is not a place that you want to continue to spend your time or energy, or this is not a person that you can expect to change their ways. They do tend to have a couple people on the side or a little bit of a roster or others that they're messaging. And this is saying safety first, implying that it isn't always necessarily just a message or a flirtation, right? This is the Wild Reflections Tarot. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. And thank you, Peggy. What else do we have? 6 of Swords in the reverse. Queen of Wands in the reverse. I don't know how to repair things with somebody that never takes my side seriously, with somebody that only thinks about things from their own perspective or doesn't feel like my feelings matter. If you want to be in a real relationship, if you want to be a friend, you have to learn how to actually it's like a two-way street, right? This is perhaps somebody who expects a lot but doesn't offer a lot, especially if they like the attention of others, but they still feel like you should be theirs, right? 5 of Wands. Ooh, yep, 5 of Wands in the reverse. High Priestess in the reverse. And the Hermit. This is like someone saying, and you're pulled from the drawing. You are no longer in competition. Whether you wanted to be my friend or if this was more about trying to be in a relationship, we've got the Hermit and Hermit in the upright, basically saying, I don't have time to spend my energy teaching you how to respect me or teaching you how to be a good friend, or explaining why, your obsession with the attention of others is weird or not really appropriate. This is somebody who's just like, no, I think I'll just stay to myself. So I don't know that there were feelings that were returned. If this was a friend that was trying to confess their emotions and end up in a relationship, they may be self-centered enough to have misread how you actually viewed them or whether or not you were interested in them. But it could also be one of those things where your perception of them changed over time. We have 5 of Swords in the reverse, 10 of Swords in the reverse. If this were a test for your spiritual awakening, you're passing, probably because you're blocking this individual. You're not willing to let them mess up your thing. You've got a good thing going. You've learned a lot. You've come out as the Hermit multiple times. That's Virgo energy. It doesn't have to be that you're an earth sign, but it could be very much so a strong indication that you're okay with doing things your own way. You don't have to wait for directions from other people to see what direction makes sense for you. You know what you want to do. And it does look like there's a change here. I don't want to stay here. I don't want to live with you or, still be friends. You're done. Knight of Cups, Magician. And I feel like there's some element of strategy here. It's almost like some of you may have tested this person. If I ask you to pick up my dry cleaning and tell you how important it is, are you going to remember to do it? If you offer to make me dinner and I remind you that, I'm allergic to mushrooms, are you going to? There's something weird like that. It's probably more significant than those examples, but it's like, okay, let's see how you handle this situation. And if it's just like a total mess, then I know it's time for me to just walk away. Seven of Cups in the reverse. Emperor in the reverse. And the Lovers. So that's seemingly what happens. A little bit of a test. What if, you have an opportunity to do something right, or if I make something really easy and then you still find a way to make it seem like it's all about you, right? That makes this decision easier. Now I know you really do have a little bit of an issue understanding other people's perspectives, or maybe you do have a bit of an ego death that you need to go through, because this person really just seems to think about what they want and they don't know how to consider your feelings or anticipate what makes the most sense if they're wanting that relationship. It's kind of like they're just like, I really like you, so you should like me back. Has that ever worked for you before? That's weird. Hello, Bitchy Tata. How are you doing? Uh-huh. So this is the character oracle. We've got Challenger, Seeker of Adventures, Courage, Challenge, and Goal. So what's interesting is, I don't know that that's the Queen of Swords or the Mother of Swords that we had at the beginning. I think this is someone different. So we could have an individual that is, maybe even known for heroism or going above and beyond. We've also got the Boss and Educator card, Master of Wealth, Risk, Investment, Management, Leader, and then we also have Imparter, Mentor, Guide, and Teacher. There's somebody here who's quite learned, and I gotta admit, if you're coming through as the Hermit, I don't feel like this is you. There's somebody here who's like on your level, right? You've been complaining that you've been friends with or pursuing a relationship with somebody that didn't seem to really take you seriously or want to approach things in the same way. And then all of a sudden, somebody else walks in. And I feel like it's totally tied to the fact that you're willing to block this person or take that step towards no contact or letting go of this. So we have Bard or Baird. I can't figure it out. I should just look it up. Keeper of Epic Tales, Ballads, and Legends. This could be somebody who is musically inclined, or this could be somebody that you meet at a show, or, you're out dancing at the bar. Okay, so we do have the Soldier card, Guardian of Nations, Loyalty, Honor, Integrity, and Selfless Service. This is quite the different energy, right? It's not toxic and self-centered. This is somebody who's willing to, apparently make the ultimate sacrifice, right? This is somebody who goes and puts in the work, much like I'll call you the Magician. You're the one who's blocked this person. You see that there's this, can I say new kid on the block? Can I say that? Will you guys make fun of me? You should. You really should. This is the Kipper. What else do we have? No dancing? Hello, Broccoli Kid. I hope you're having a good day. Toil and Labor, number 38. Message, number 7. So this Challenger, somebody who is also very hermit energy, is, I don't know, it's like they're taking a break, or they've got a little vacation. They catch this Magician, right? Maybe you're meeting on the spot. Maybe it's, random encounter. But I feel like this is somebody who has been working diligently on something, much like this Magician has. And it's something that you may talk about, or it's something you may bond over. You might have similar interests or work in a similar field. But there's going to be like a flirtatious energy that starts popping up with this connection, this new Challenger. So we've got Family Room, number 21. Main Male in the reverse. Yeah, this is saying it's not that toxic energy. It's not that magician. It's this third party. So I feel like whoever is resonating with the magician, you're making the decision that you don't want to be friends with people that are toxic. You don't want to date somebody that is toxic. If they're self-centered, it makes more sense for you to keep it moving and meet some new friends. And I do feel like you meet a new friend or you meet a new person that is interested in you romantically. And for some of you, this is a person that is interested in starting a family. You might have a very similar path terms of the relationship that you would want. And for others of you, you're making acquaintances or making friends with people that have very similar interests. This is the Romance Angel Oracle. Hello, Pharaoh. I hope you're all right. Did you say Milli Vanilli made you mad? Oh, no. Yes, exactly. Unrequited love. The problem for this toxic person is that there is not enough love or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. You tried to make this friendship or this relationship work, but that toxic energy was too much. Past life relationship. You have known each other before. I feel like this is the new person. And keep an open mind. They may differ from your normal type, either physically or what they do for work. It's not something I feel like you see this person and you're like, that's the person I'm going to marry. That's the person I'm going to fall in love with. I feel like it's more so like, who's that? I don't know how I feel about that. Because it's saying keep an open mind. It's not your normal type. It's not somebody that maybe, your bestie would assume you need to be paired up with. But there's something about how it's like you bounce off each other with regards to communication, or you finish each other's sentences. You're of one mind. And it makes it seem like you've known each other for much longer than you really have. Maybe you really have known each other for a long time. But then we have the calling in your soulmate card. So you're letting go of this not so great connection. And as a result, that energy starts pulling in the soulmate that you're meant to be spending time with. So let's get a few from the Love Oracle. Did I say hello to Laura yet? Just in case. Hello. LOL, Keith. Oh my. So we've got the Twin Flames card, mirroring, shared feelings, and reflection. So we could either have you've been on a twin flame journey with this person and they've chosen not to heal. We could have a situation where somebody who is self-centered was telling you that you are their twin flame in order to try to manipulate you. For others, this soulmate could be somebody that is a twin flame. I feel like that's the least likely scenario, but still possible. The chemistry with the new person is off the charts. We've got lusting, forbidden, non-committal, and sexual energy. So I do think for many of you, you're going to decide to take it very slowly with a new relationship because you want to make sure that you're not signing up to be a side mission or, just like a situationship. There's distance, separation, space, blockage, and curse. Hex, witchcraft, and negative mind. I think for many of you, you just want to take things slow if a new person comes into your life because you want to make sure that there's enough time where you're on your own or you're able to heal from the previous experience. You may feel a little bit dizzy having dealt with somebody that had such a negative presence in your life, somebody who was so focused on themselves. This is the Zodiac Fortune Telling cards. What else? You owe someone a letter. Write it at once. A short sorrow. You are a very well-liked person. Carry through your ideas. You will be successful. Well, I like that positivity. I think things get much easier for you when you're not dealing with all the toxic energy from this person that's a little bit too self-involved. Hello, Deborah. How are you? All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for the likes and subscribes. Oh, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I hope to see you on my next reading. Just keep in mind the next couple of days are probably going to be a little bit, I don't know, difficult. They'll probably be primarily pre-recorded live premieres, but I'm going to try to be a part of those live chats with you all if I can. So, all right. Hugs. See you later. Toodles.